doesn't mean useless. Some days feel like just carrying too much. Too many responsibilities, too many worries, too much pressure. What if that weight isn't holding you back, it's actually building something? Every burden you carry today is a break, not a random, not wasted. Shaping your discipline, strengthening your patience, quietly constructing the life you've been working toward. The hard days don't look like crackers, they feel like survival. Step by step, you're building something real. So don't drop it yet. You might be closer than you think. So don't drop it yet. You might be closer than you think. You might be closer than you think. Walking alone might mean you're first. The wind cuts through the air, sharp and cold. In a vast white world with no clear horizon, a small fox moves forward. A quiet spark of orange in the silence. It has been walking all night. When its legs grow tired, it stops and looks back. There it is, a single line of small footprints stretching far behind. No other tracks, no signs of anyone else. Just its own path. The fox hesitates. Maybe I took the wrong way, Jess. If this were right, wouldn't others have walked here already? It almost turns back, almost erased the only path it has made. But then, the first light of morning touches the snow, and something changes. In the distance, a small family of rabbits appears. They pause, then carefully step into the fox's footprints. A young deer follows, and a few snowbirds land gently along the same trail. The fox slowly realizes this place was never a maze, it was a blank page. And those footprints, they weren't mistakes. They were the first line of a path that no one crossed this land before. Not because it was wrong, but because everyone was waiting for someone to go first. And that someone was it. Journey message for you. Sometimes you feel out of place because you're doing something no one around you is doing. But that doesn't mean you're off track. It may mean you're creating the map. Walking alone doesn't always mean you're lost. Sometimes it means you're leading. So if your path feels quiet right now, keep going. You might just be building something others will follow.
Strong groups rarely break from force first. They break when trust starts to crack. Lots of. On a windy plateau, 3 bulls live side by side. Rust, ash, and brindle. They had one rule: back-to-back clones out. Whenever danger came near, they formed a tight triangle, 3 bodies, 6 horns, 1 wall no predator could break. And because they stood together, no one touched them glowing. But nearby, an old wolf kept watching from the thorns. It was thin, patient, hungry. It knew one thing: if it attacked their strength, it would lose. If it poisoned their trust, it would win. So it waited until they grazed a little apart. Where went to rust first? Ash says you look strong, the wolf whispered. But only because you hide behind the others. The next day it went to Ash. Rust says your horns are dull now, that you are becoming the weak link. Then it went to Brindle. The other 2 already decided something: if danger comes, you will be the one left exposed. That was enough pain. It did not work in one moment, it worked slowly. Their eyes changed first, then their distance changed. They stopped sharing the best grass, stopped resting close together, stopped trusting what had once felt certain. Soon, each bull became more concerned with protecting himself than protecting the bond. And the old formation died before any of them noticed. That evening, they stood alone in 3 separate corners of the field. The wolf smiled. Now it did not need to defeat 3. It only needed to attack 1. It rushed Brindle first. Brindle cried out for help. But Rust hesitated. Ash hesitated. Each one thought, this may be a trap. By the time they realized the real trap was the doubt inside them, it was too late. Brindle fell first, then Ash, then Rust. The one who thought he was strongest alone, he was not. Life lesson: what protects people most is not size, talent, or power. It is trust. Once trust breaks, even strong relationships can collapse from the inside. Many teams, partnerships, and companies are not destroyed by competition first. They are weakened by ego, rumors, silence, and internal suspicion. A smart rival does not always attack your walls. Sometimes they just wait for cracks to appear inside them. whisper, ask, who benefits if we turn against each other? The bowl sank, but its limits didn't. Once, there was a goldfish named Finn. He had spent his whole life inside a small round glass bowl on a quiet windowsill. His world was barely 20 centimeters wide. 3 strokes forward, glass, turn, repeat. After a while, that tiny circle no longer felt small. It felt normal. It felt safe. It felt like life. But Finn always looked beyond the glass, at the light, at the open world, at something larger than the pattern he knew. He wanted more changed. Then one day, everything changed. His owner carried him to a large lake so he could see the world. But while standing on a small bridge, the owner slipped. The bowl fell. Water splashed high. The bowl sank quickly into the green lake. Above, a hand reached down helplessly below. Finn's world dropped deeper than ever. Landed on the lake bed. It didn't break. It just tilted and rested there. Finn was still inside. He was still inside the same circle, only now surrounded by a huge lake. He could have swum anywhere. But Finn froze. Then, almost automatically, he started swimming again. 3 strokes, pause, turn. 3 strokes, pause, turn. No glass held him anymore, but Finn still swam like it did. Other fish passed by. The lake was wide open, but Finn stayed inside an invisible boundary. That is how people get stuck. Not by what's holding them now, but by what trained them before. A small pattern can feel wise. A familiar limit can feel safe. Even when the world opens, the old habit still whispers, stay. That is the danger, Mar. Sometimes the chance is here. The door is open. The limit is gone. But the mind still obeys an old boundary. Real change starts when you test what's ahead of you. One more step, one more try, one move beyond where you stop. Maybe your bowl has sunk long ago. Maybe your next life already waits outside the circle. Some people were forced to rebuild in silence here. No one came to put them back together. No perfect timing, no easy rescue
if you are rebuilt.